I'm so excited to chat about this beautiful, beautiful movie. Congratulations to you all. And Dan, I have to go to you first. I mean, as the writer, director, and star of this film, did you face any challenges in bringing this story to life? And how did you navigate the emotional nuances of each of these unique characters?
Well, I think every project you encounter challenges. I think that's part of what ends up shaping the film in the end. In this case, the film. Um, I think at the end of the day, all you can do is fight for the integrity of what you intend the project to be. And I think the struggles are you're dealing with so many different things at play. There are so many different variables along the road to making something. And it's about picking and choosing how and when you protect the integrity of what you know to be the story. Mm-hmm. So that I think was the big challenge, but it wasn't so much a challenge as it was a series of conversations and explanations. And the reality is someone who doesn't understand one part of a script requires me to provide an answer for it. And if I don't have that answer, we got to go back and change it. So all of those things were constructive, but I was fiercely protective of the tone and the sensitivity and the intimacy of it. I never wanted it to feel too broad. It's a very particular story, and I wanted the specificity of it to be preserved. And then the second part of your question, which was,
how did you navigate all of the emotional nuances of each of these characters?
It sounds easy, but you cast brilliant actors and you allow them the space to crawl into these characters and make them their own. I think the last thing I wanted to do was to impose my vision for a character on an actor. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to lay the foundation and allow the actors to come in and lift the story to different levels that I could never see as a writer. That's the beauty of an actor, is they come into a story and they make it more impactful and they make it more significant. And so when you find a beautiful team of actors to inhabit these characters, all my job was to be able to answer questions, to provide some kind of direction in terms of what I had originally intended this character to be or how I wanted, and then let your actors let them shine. Like, you can't stifle those moments, particularly in a movie as intimate as this. It is so dependent on the impulses and the personalization of the actors that come in. So for me, it was just a dream to get to work with everybody and then to just say, run free, kind of.
That's the way it should be. It's not always like that, though. you know?
I mean, I can only imagine, but I do think that it truly turned out wonderful. And all of the characters have so much personality and so much depth, and you really see who they are. I personally loved the Ferris wheel scene and just kind of having those messy conversations that are hard and difficult. That's just so relatable. And going over to you, Ruth and Himesh, I wanted to ask if there's any scene personally that really resonated with you and left a lasting impression.
I think maybe we'll agree on this one, Ruth, but it's a scene that neither of us are in, which is the scene at the end with Celia's character, where you guys are talking over sort of the last, I don't know, just the climax of the emotional heartbeat of the story. And her line, which I'm not going to butcher, it was...
To avoid sadness.
Yeah, it's to avoid love, right?
It's to also avoid love.
Oh, I mean, it just... And her
masterclass of acting.
Exactly.
She just...
Unreal.
Masterclass.
But it also just really so beautifully sort of summed up everything that the film was driving towards, really, in such a beautifully emotional moment. So.
Yeah. To be alive is to risk things, you know? You have to be able to, risk being vulnerable in your life to really live a life, I think. And that's a very, it's a courageous thing to do. It's not an easy thing to do, but we must do it in order to live our lives fully. Do you know what I mean? And in order to do that, we have to be honest with ourselves, but also have people around us who are willing to be honest with us too. And I think that's what this film is a testament to, that kind of, that strong friendship that isn't going to just dissolve at the first hurdle.
Absolutely. Well, that's all the time I have. Thank you so much for your beautiful answers and your time. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thanks for the great
Thank you.
questions.
Just to start, there's this such a powerful scene with your character that I really loved when he first kind of meets Mark and he's pulling all of this trauma out of him right off the get-go. And he tells him that isn't art a kind of commemoration of pain?
Yeah.
And I just love that quote, but I would love for you to just talk a little bit about what you loved about Theo and how he fits into Mark's journey.
I love the fact that he's really straight to people and to himself. He really tries to be honest all the time. And sometimes it can be problematic, particularly in that scene. Maybe it's a bit too much with Mark, but it worked. So maybe he's right. And the fact that is trying to put a smile back on Mark's face was really appealing to me. That kind of character, who really wants to cheer people up or try to lift them up.
Absolutely. And I know that this has such a wonderful cast as well. So can you just kind of share what it was like working with these people and if you have any, powerful scenes from the filming process that you can share with us?
Yes, of course. I am so happy and so humble to be part of that incredible cast. When I arrived in London, a few days before filming, we did a table read with all these incredible actors around me. And it felt like a movie to me, just watching at them like this. They were funny, they were sparkling, and I was just a little French guy. And I was so impressed. And then we worked together, and it felt like in the film, kind of a chosen family as well. Friendship. We spent a lot of time together in London, in Paris. They're so funny, they're so sweet, they're so brilliant. It's a dream come true for me.
Absolutely. And I just have to ask, I know that this movie, it touches on such deep, deep themes of grief, of loss, but also in love. And it's also set, in Paris, which a lot of people might associate with love, but it really goes so much further. So what does it mean to be a part of a project that has these such deep, meaningful themes?
That's what I loved in the project. It's so well written, and it's the perfect mix between sadness, profound feelings, bittersweet, and also light, fun moments. And it's, as an actor, to be able to navigate around that kind of feelings, very different. It's so exciting.
And just my last question, what do you hope people take away when they see this film?
Everything they want, but I hope the power of friendship and love.
Absolutely. I think that sums it up perfectly. Well, thank you so much. Congratulations again.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much.